Hey, what's up guys? My name's Nesto. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to put this video out just to show you guys how I fix small holes like this in drywall. As you can see, it's a small hole in drywall. I'm doing this so that if you're a tasker or something, you know it's slow right now, and you want to, maybe expand your services, you could offer, to fix holes in drywall. So I have this hole right here, and I just kind of just eyeballed, just put that board, piece of drywall up to it. And I'm gonna cut out a square that's gonna cover the hole. That's bigger than the size of the hole in the wall. So I just use a box cutter for that. It's very quick. You just snap it off. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and trace the square that I cut. I trace it onto the wall because it's faster. It's easier this way rather than. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that video of some guy fixing a hole in drywall like this, and then he kept trying to cut like avocado shaped pieces of drywall to fit into the hole, and ended up looking like a giant avocado. So this is how you avoid that. So I use my multi-tool because it's faster. You could use your box cutter or a drywall saw. Drywall saws are really good. I had one, but I dropped it somewhere. I went up in my attic. I was looking for, I was doing something in my attic, and I dropped it into like a crevice that, if I haven't gotten it out, and I just never bought another one. But yeah, so there one, I just ripped it off. You want to just make sure, I'm checking that it fits, but you want to make sure where the studs are, how far it is away from the stud, because obviously in here, it's not near a stud, so I have to cut a piece of wood. It's just like a 1x2 I get from Home Depot. So I just go ahead and cut that with my multi-tool as well. If there's a stud nearby, you could use that stud as an edge. Basically what you want to do is you want to reinforce the edges so that it doesn't move at all, and the drywall compound doesn't crack. So this is just something I do. I just pre-drill the screws into the drywall where I'm pretty sure they're gonna go. I just start them. I don't right there I backed it up a little bit. You don't want to go through the wall, because then it's gonna push the wood out away from the wall. So there's that one piece I cut. So I just hold it up against the drywall while I screw it in with just regular drywall screws, 1.5-inch drywall screws. You want to carry 1.5-inch, you want to carry 2-inch drywall screws, and you also want to carry self-tapping drywall screws for when it's like a metal studs. So I'm going ahead right here, doing the next one. This was a while ago. I've been sitting on this video. I've been meaning to do a voiceover on it. It's from back in the summer, so it was back when it was hot, and it's cold now. So I'm just making sure it fits in flush or whatever. I actually messed up because the piece of drywall that I had was the 1/2-inch drywall, and the drywall on the client's house was 5/8 inch drywall. So it's sitting in recess, which is not ideal, but it's not that big of a problem on a hole this small, because you could just fill it in with compound. So now I'm securing the drywall to those wooden strips that I put in. And when you set these screws, you want them to go in. You don't want them to stick out, so you want them to go in a little bit. And then let's see, I'm putting mesh tape. I really don't know the difference between mesh tape or the application difference between mesh tape and the paper tape. For this one, I just went ahead and used mesh tape. I also use the paper tape a lot. I think to me it feels like the paper tape, it's harder for me to blend it in with the original wall on a small thing like this. But then I just want to went ahead and go ahead and just start filling in with the compound. And like I said, I used the wrong size drywall, so I'm actually using I have to use a lot more compound. If I had gotten the right one, it would have been a lot faster and smoother. So I actually had to fast forward here because it's kind of finicky. You think you got it, and you okay, just one more swipe, and you do that next swipe, and it completely ruins everything. And you're like, okay, I think I got it, and one more swipe, and you completely ruin that swipe too. But yeah, you gotta just go out as far as you can, just to try to make it as flat as possible, so you don't see where the repair was. And with the with the sunken in drywall that I put in, in some instances when you use too much compound, after it dries it cracks. But like I said, like on a hole this big, it's not that big of a deal, because you could just, when you come into after this, you have to wait for it to dry. You have to come and sand. Once it's dry, you have to sand it smooth, and it may require like another skim coat. And for those skim coats, I often use the 5-minute fast drying mud. But you see here, I got it. I got it in. It's ready to go. It's ready to just let dry, come back, sand it, and paint it. Right now, I'm vacuuming up like my area, the client's house. I had put a small piece of plastic on the floor just to catch most of it, but I have this Craftsman battery powered small wet dry shop vacuum, and it's indispensable. I love it. I used to have like the big one with we have to plug it in, and it's way louder, and so I'm definitely glad that I bought that one. But I didn't say it in my last video, but leave a comment, guys. Let me know if this is helpful or if it's not helpful, if I did it wrong, which obviously I just admitted that I did. But that's about it. I think this job actually in real time took me like 20 minutes, and that's because of the bad drywall. But thanks a lot, guys.